officially live. Just got to wait for the game to hook up to Euro Truck Simulator 2. Come on, OBS, do your thing. Yep, it's hooked up. Right, okay. Turn my laptop on. And make sure that the sound is 0. 2:06 AM, got a new video out. Lovely. I'll be watching that later on. And you meet us. It is 18:51 hours, Saturday the 13th of September. So which means Thursday was the 24th anniversary, I think, of 9/11. That was a strange thing as well. So we are in Iceland, as expected. And I'm in my Scania. She's just sitting there. She's warming up nicely. Diverter valve is closed, so it's using the standard exhaust system at the moment. So let's have a look. Let's press the button to make sure that all my lights are working. The side lights are on, as you can see. No. Headlights on, high beams on. All the side lights do appear to be working, and the tail lights also appear to be working. Walk down here. Okay. Check the reversing lights. Check the brake lights. Okay. And now, check your hazard lights. The four ways. They're working. That's working there. They're working there. And they are working there. Let's get in. Horns. Standard horn works. Air horn works. I have full steering control. Okie dokie. Handbrake works, okay, and now brakes work. Okay, we have got to go to pick up my trailer, which is in Reyðarfjörður. We're in Hoffen at the moment, which is in the southeast corner of Iceland. Now, back in 2001, I was working for a company called Don Burr. I was a forklift truck driver, and the company makes trailers and vehicle bodies for the haulage industry. And in the afternoon, I was busy working. We'd had the break. You know, we'd had dinner, we got back to work again. And I was in the toilets. I was having a pee. Up against the urinal, do me business. And somebody walks in. Well, Trade Centre just fell down. So I'm sitting there. I'm still having a piss like that. And it took me a while, a couple of seconds to compute what this guy just said. World Trade Centre. And I turns to him, I goes, fuck off. The World Trade Centre has not fell down. You are taking the piss. don't talk such fucking drivel in your entire... It's just not gonna happen. Puts me over, puts me tackle back in the trousers, pulls me fly up, lifts me overalls up, goes back to doing what I was doing. A few minutes later, about half an hour later, my supervisor looks at his pager. Second tower's just gone down. So it looks like, Derek, fuck off. This is getting silly now. And then it goes home. Turns on CNN. And what's the first thing I see? And it was the antenna tower wobble, then drop. I'm like, oh fuck. That is not good. And it took me a while for what had happened to physically sink in. And CNN, and Sky News, BBC and ITV News, and all the other UK and presumably international networks too, were just playing this on a loop. Boom, boom. Because it was so devastating what had happened. And obviously on the day after, when it had realised what had actually happened, Article 5 of the NATO treaty was invoked, and the United States under George W. Bush, George Bush Jr. this is. I'm not sure if George Bush or George H.W. Bush was the first. I think it was George W. Bush was the second. We went into Afghanistan to deal with the Taliban. But World Trade Center 1 and World Trade Center 2 were not the only buildings to fall on that complex. World Trade Center 7 also came down. And this brought about a lot of conspiracy theories. You know, buildings don't fall down by fire alone. No, but when you've got metal burning, and your structure of your building is metal, you know, building burning, metal's getting hot. When metal gets hot, it gets soft. That's how blacksmiths are able to forge and work their steel and their iron. Because when it gets towards its melting point, it begins to soften. If you carry on heating it up, it runs like a liquid. And this was what was happening on the World Trade Center, as everything inside it burned. It got soft. And when you've got 20 or 30 floors above the fire, pushing down, there comes a point where the metal is heated up to enough that it begins to move. And this is what you saw. The first, you know, the upper section came down. Thump. That then puts excessive load onto the floors beneath, so they fail. Thump. Then that puts more load on the floors, you know, the undamaged floors, and eventually, thump, 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 thump. Down it goes. Which is why you saw the two towers fall pretty much straight down. Because they pushed the joints and the walls out of the way and just straight down. And WTC-7 was struck by debris, and more importantly, the big 200-foot antenna that was on the roof of one of the towers. So when it fell down, it was like a sword to a shreddies box. And the way that building was designed, there was an electrical substation underneath. They built around it and built over the top of it. Of course, as the fire burned, and the damage was already been done, the weight of the building caused a couple of the trusses to drop, and the building just falls over. Boom. Purely, again, because the metal had reached its point where you could start to fold it, bend it. And that had caused no end of conspiracy theories to say that it was an inside job. No, it wasn't an inside job. You know, modern skyscrapers were designed to be lightweight. That's how the World Trade Centers 1 and 2 could go to the dizzying heights they were. Had they been built in the same ways that they built the Empire State Building or the Chrysler Building, they could have not have reached anywhere near the height they were. But the way they were designed also trapped a load of people above where the planes went in. And they were also designed to, believe it or not, they were designed to withstand an impact from what was the biggest aircraft at the time, the Boeing 707. Because when they were built, the 747 hadn't been built. It was being thought of, but it hasn't entered flight. I don't think it had anyway. And then obviously you've got modern engine aircraft like the 757, which is comparable in size to the 707, and the 767, which is bigger. Modern aircraft have got bigger and heavier than the 707 because, purely because they need more passengers on board to make it more profitable. As for United Flight 93, where the people on board kind of rushed the cockpit and dealt with it and down it went, we'll never find out if that will be the case. At least not for another 50 years. But fast forward to Thursday, and obviously the president has to go there. And then he's sat next to the First Lady, and you see half of his face just dripping on one side. That does not look good. There's already a lot of suspicion about his health, and this is only going to fuel more suspicion. Because he also speaks slightly slurred. Now here in the UK there was an advertising campaign brought about to bring about stroke awareness. Act fast. Has the person's face drooped? Is his speech slurred? Yeah. Can he move his arm, lift his arms above a certain point? That's the A. F-A-S-T. If you have any of these, it's T. Time to call 999. And he may have Bell's palsy, or he may have had a stroke. I mean, he's not got the best diet in the world. Big Macs. So, something is not right. Will he get to use his lovely, beautiful ballroom in the White House? Probably not. And I don't think he will leave office with the ballot box. I think he will leave office in the wooden box. And it'll be his own doing. Because he will be told by medical advisors to change his diet. Start eating a little bit more healthy. You know, Big Macs, as nice as they are, Whoppers, as nice as they are, and I'm just as guilty as this myself, because I do like a Big Mac. If you're constantly eating unhealthy food, I'm afraid to say it's going to catch up on you. Well, where's my fucking trailer? He's already possibly got signs of dementia. Where is it? Ah, it's there. Right. But he doesn't listen to people because he thinks he knows best. Then, of course, you had the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And you've got somebody, you know, that person is going to get interrogated. And if he's actually done it, he's going to get sentenced, most likely he'll get the death sentence. But there's a few... I'm not going to dwell on this. I think there's a few things there that don't add up. I mean, if you're going to take some, do a campus shooting, you're going to cause absolute chaos. There's loads of people around him. Ample opportunity now to just start taking out everybody else who's in the panic. But he didn't. He quietly left the scene. Yeah. One shot, one person down. That to me comes across as a very professional person with a rifle who knows how to use a rifle. Orleans, France. Let's head down to... do we go to Florence in Italy? Or do we go there? Because that one's just literally just come up. I wasn't done there a moment ago. Actually, yeah, I'll go to Florence. Florence. And then shortly thereafter, the finest college kid from Utah, apparently dobbed in by his parents. I'm suspicious. Summit just doesn't sit right. And I don't normally do conspiracies. But with the way that the investigation was going, yeah, the reported plane that went dark on the transponder, what was all that about? I mean, if he gets... Hello, Ollie, how you doing? So here we are, we have our container on board. This is a curtain-sided 40-foot container. You don't see many of these about. Make sure it's all properly locked in, which it certainly looks to be. It's 24 tons, so I'll put the back axle down. I mean, my personal belief as to what happened on Thursday is that the administration want to distract from what's going on. Distract people from certain files that are floating around. And he also knows that he's likely to get slaughtered in the midterms. So how do you prevent the midterms going on? You get martial law enacted. But you need a reason. And this could be that reason. Somebody on their side had to be dealt with. Had to become a sacrificial lamb. Not a martyr, sacrificial lamb. Because you become a martyr when you are taken down by the other side. He was sacrificed. The only thing is, nobody's buying it. And of course, if he does declare martial law to cancel the midterms, that will have to be, I think, approved by Congress. Whether it's a simple majority or a 2/3 majority, I don't know. Climb, you bitch! Come on, get up this hill! Come on! Yeah, the trick is with that hill is if you're in an auto, hold the gear and go on by one that's about halfway up the gearbox, which in this case is, I think, was about 8th or 10th. So I think over these next few weeks things are going to get interesting. There's one ex-congressman, was a Republican, now a Democrat, says that America might, the way it's going, could fragment itself. I can't quite see that completely happening, but that said, certain aspects of federal law will and the duties, I think, will get split. What do you want? There we go. So now we go to Hirschfeld, all the way across. And then we head down through Denmark and Germany. So we have 81 hours on the trip remaining, and it's going to take us about 26 hours to get there. So we've got about 2 days of drive, 2.5 days of driving. Yeah, so the orange what's it is not having things his own way. I'm still going to have a quick look at this to see if it's got coloured. Right, let's have a look. Trailer configurator. Let's have a look and see what the wheel arches are. What options I've got for the wheel arches. Painted no lines. Oh, okay. Right, okay. Yeah, it works. Although I've actually got fabric on, sorry, plastic on the so yeah, I'll go back with plastic. Keep it all looking relatively uniform. And I'll put, actually, because we got those there. Those are the standard lights, which I don't think are that bright. So I'm going to put on the back here a set of red marker lights. So people can see the back of the truck. There we go. And also as well, real-time position light lamp left, marker lights, halo markers red, chrome signal red. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Right, let's go to Italy. So we've got 9 9 hours, 4.5 hours, so that is 6 hours. 6 hours to there. 4 hours to Flensburg. So we've got 4 hours to get to there. Because if we go to, say, there, for example, it's 4 hours 35, so we're over the limit. So we'll go to there. That's our first bit. Well, of course, let's... once we get to Germany, I think I'll take small roads. You don't see many tandem axle trailers as well in Europe. Let's hear this baby sing. Now, earlier on as well this week, Russia launched a drone attack, of which 19 of those devices ended up going completely the wrong way. Poland. Of course, Moscow says, no, this is a mistake, they were not aimed at Poland. 19 of the buggers? Let's just say that I think he is prodding a needle. The bear is poking. See now how far he can push and get away. Again, I have a funny feeling they was aimed as decoys. Well, to use the term decoy I think is the wrong word, but they were probing NATO's defences in Poland, because Poland is next to Belarus and Russia, and it is also where a lot of the stuff going to Ukraine is marshalled and mustered before being shipped across the border. And it's only 50 kilometers away from the Ukrainian frontier. I personally would move it back a bit. Got half a tank of fuel, so we'll get to the next fuel station, no problem at all. I think sooner or later the conflict between Russia and the West, it won't necessarily get hot like it is between Ukraine and Russia, but it can certainly warm up a bit. Where that will require the trade of munitions between East and West, or it'll be things like undersea cables, which are a common tactic right now, or the power grid, or what have you, where they try to shut down each other's ability to communicate, is anyone's guess. Because in a one-on-one fight with NATO, a cohesive force, even without the United States getting involved, because even if Article 5 was triggered, I think the current head of the administration will find a way of not getting involved, because apparently member states in NATO are not paying their full worth. Apparently. That's what he believes. We're not paying enough on defence. He might find a way to wriggle out of Article 5. So even without the United States, using just Canada, the European nations of NATO, Russia, I think, with its rather sorry state of its military, might have a hard time of it. Which is one of the reasons why they've gone, Vladimir Putin has gone to Kim Jong-un and goes, we need some troops. And I think the biggest player here to secure peace and prevent an overall conflict is not going to be Washington DC. Because Vladimir Putin plays a guy in Washington like a bloody violin. It'll be Xi Jinping. Oops. Should have strapped your load down, brother. And apparently China is a nation to be feared. Which is why he slapped a fucking shitload of tariffs on China. Because he doesn't like China's success. He hasn't done it because China is a threat to the United States. He's done it because he's jealous of China. That's all it is, petty jealousy. He is jealous of the likes of Richard Branson. Yeah, the man who owns Virgin. Because that man had a vision, he had a dream. But at school he was not brilliant. But he's made himself exactly who he is. And the man in Washington had pretty much everything to think of. Except love. Which I think is why he is the way he is. It's hard to say what is going to happen with that guy, but except for one thing. In 4 years' time, I don't think he's going to be around. And America will be in a very, very dark place. I mean, he did a good one on Hyundai. ICE get wind of a handful of illegal immigrants working for a subcontractor there. So they go in and kick down. And then you see over 300 South Koreans. These 300 South Koreans were there completely and utterly legally. They were there to train up American workers on how to use the equipment in the plant. Didn't matter to ICE. They all got rounded up. Then ICE realised, hang on, these have got H2N visas. H2B or whatever it is. They're here illegally. We can't simply just let them go because it makes us look like we fucked up. Oh fuck, what do we do? Send them back to South Korea. So of course, they head back to South Korea on a South Korean Airlines flight completely and utterly legitimately. Let's go down the wrong place. And this could actually be very, very, very counterproductive because Hyundai, who own that plant, may decide now to go, fuck this shit, just empty the factory and close it down. So that's several thousand American jobs cancelled. Because of ICE dropping a big fucking fuck up. Right. Let's just straighten up. Don't want to hit that Scania behind me. Right. It is now 21:18. So we are here now for 45 minutes. So let's call that 15. So when that clock turns to 2200 hours, say 22:05, the journey will continue. Because drivers of these type of vehicles have regulated hours. We can only drive for 9 hours a day. We can only drive for a maximum of 4.5 hours at any given time before we need a 45-minute break. We can do a 15 and a 30, or we can do a 45. We can't do a 30, then a 15. Second break has to be 30. So if we do a 30, we have to do a 30, which is an hour break, which is what I do at work. So we're here till that clock ticks back to 22:05. Coffee time! So, what else has happened this week? Well, Lord Mendelssohn, well, was it Sir Peter Mendelssohn? Our US diplomat, or rather, should I say, the UK ambassador to the United States, more correctly. Turns out, he's in the files. Oh dear, Mr. Mendelssohn. Oh dear. And at Prime Minister's Questions, Kemi Badenoch quizzed Sir Keir Starmer. Actually, he's got 3 questions. And she was like a dog with a bone. And did not let him go. To which I put something along the lines of Twitter, X, call it what you like, that he must either resign or be recalled. Friday, absolutely brilliant news. He is being recalled in disgrace. So now we need a new ambassador to the United States. But it does not look well for Sir Keir Starmer. Because he picked the guy. I mean, not only that, last week you had Angela Rayner with her tax affairs on her house, and she's had to go. But these are on for a bit. So now I need to mark in my second. 3 hours 21. So that's where we go next. A place called Salttown. So that's next. That's about 4 hours away. I don't think there's anywhere else to go. We probably wouldn't get to there. No, it's 5 hours 26. So Salttown is the next one. So that's next. Right. So we've got 20 minutes here to go. After which, because obviously we got a second person in the cab, that means I can actually drive, this vehicle can move for another 9 hours. Which is how we're going to play it. Because here's something strange, in the UK, if you've got a double man vehicle, the vehicle can run for 18 hours. Then we have to park up for 11 hours and run for... In America, not the European Union, the vehicle can run for 10 hours a day with one driver. But after 10 hours, you have to give up and have your rest. If you have got a second driver, you hop into the bunk and the other driver takes over. The vehicle moves for another 10 hours. But in America, you have a working day of 14 hours and a break period of 10 hours. So the other driver does walk around check, drives for 10 hours, drives for 5 hours, has a half-hour break, drives for 5 hours. That is over 10 hours. So that person stops, signs on to break, you get up, You have your breakfast, you walk around and check, and you drive for 10 hours, half hour break, 10 hours, whilst the other person sleeps. The other person cannot legally be in the passenger seat whilst off duty. Legally. She has to be in the bunk. Or he has to be in the bunk. Doesn't stop people travelling along, sitting in the front seat, scrolling through social media, knitting, yeah, reading the book or whatever. Because some trucks in America, you've got no windows in the back. Like the Peterbilt 579, for example, there's no bunk windows. In the T680, you've got the option of no bunk windows. So you're in an area about the size of a bed with no windows. It's not very comfortable, is it? So you'll sit in the front seat for a couple of hours and go to sleep. Time 15 minutes. And next week I do plan on doing some Euro truck. Sorry, doing some American truck. However, we're on 1.55 and 1.65. So 1.56, sorry, is an open beta. We've got 2 new DLCs on the way soon. Iceland and Nordic Horizons. Woohoo! Hey! Iceland will probably be what, 1.57 or 1.58, I reckon. Nordic Horizons is going to be 1.56. Which soon I'll be able to run around without needing pro mods. But then we get the shitty UK map. Pro mods map on the UK is much better. I think I might actually change my title from Trucking in Our Time to Trucking in Our Time, the Week in Review. Was that 5-3? Yeah, 5-3. 10 minutes. Well, less than 10 minutes now. We haven't quite had 45. I mean, if I wanted to, we could actually stop, swap drivers, and carry on rolling. Then I have 4.5 hours worth of POA. Which is actually what a lot of trucking teams do. Not everyone. We'll drive for 4.5 hours, rotate, drive for 4.5 hours, rotate, drive for 4.5 hours, rotate, drive for 4.5 hours. So the truck is actually moving for 18 hours a day and stop for very little. Which then you park up for 11 hours. So your day that running period is actually shorter. So let's go. Pay for I was actually missing somebody behind the counter. Oh, what magazines have we got? Yeah, typical collection of lifestyle magazines, men's magazines, music magazines. What have we got there? Your soft drinks, your Red Bulls, your Walker's crisps, vending machines. More crisps. Newspapers like the Mirror, Der Spiegel. .22, 3 more minutes, we can hit the road. Okay. Yeah, I think we can go now actually, let's go. So we're going to be rolling through the night down towards Salto in Germany. Put the engine into quiet mode. I do like this sound profile. And we are now entering Germany as we roll between one Schengen nation to another, and we don't stop. Don't need to stop. Guten Tag. Gute Nacht. Now got 1400 kilometers to go. It's about an hour and a half of runtime. So when we arrive at the next stop, it will literally be just a case of swap the cards, and the simulation will be as that person there in reality, would take over the driving. Which will simply be just a case of just stop as I put a new pin on the map and we'll keep rolling. Oh dear. Now, going back to what I was on about earlier on about Peter Mandelson being sacked. His record of positions, going back as far as I think it was Tony Blair's government, has not been perfect. If you are in a position of authority, be it a prime minister, a president, you know, a diplomat, a head of a government department like the FBI or the MI5 or whatever, you need to be squeaky clean. And unfortunately, he wasn't. And I think he will now retire in disgrace. Well, I think I was also told that the reason why he was a US diplomat is when it was announced that the UK will be sending a new diplomat, the President of the United States, I want him. I want him to be the diplomat. Excuse me, but what authority has he got to say who are we sent to be his diplomat? You know, to be our diplomat to your country. What authority has he got? But it seems to be that the files are catching a lot of people out. That is how prolific Mr. Epstein was. If you are a well-to-do socialite or political person of status, or even a corporate for that matter, you're probably going to be in them files one way or another. And to the average person who's listened to the news, be it on CNN or Fox in America or BBC or ITV over here, and you hear that X person has been found to be in the files, it probably comes as no surprise. Whether he has been to the private estate on the American Virgin Islands, though, is another matter. Because not everybody he has had contact with has been to that island. But quite a few people of influence have. And are now coming to regret it. There's going to be a lot more names that are going to come out over the next few weeks and months. Names that you'd expect to come out and names that you probably bloody well didn't. You know, I'm surprised Jimmy Savile didn't go there. He probably did. Who knows? I mean, hell, Prince Andrew probably went there. Which is why Guthrie apparently was killed in a car crash, apparently. Just like Diana was. Something dark and dirty there. Something very dark and very dirty. And I don't do conspiracy theories. But with a lack of evidence and all things pointing to a certain direction, what can you do? Lower Saxony! And I get teabagged by 2 cars. Three, 5, 6. Put the spotlights on. Super Drum, yeah, I'm doing great. Oh, thank you, Super Drum, brilliant. I'll watch that on 4 catch up later on once this stream is over. But I've also, as well, just ordered something as well, which you might like to see. Right, let's go to eBay. And that's the forecast. What's this? My eBay purchase history. That's the forecast set. And it's here. Is it going through? Is it going through? Is it going? Yes, I've ordered one of these. That'll be actually quite interesting, actually. Now, I've ordered one of these sets. It's to replace the one that I've already got. That isn't working very well because it is nice. You get all these details as well. You got these here. That's the dummy coupling. And I'll need to order another one at some stage to couple up to my, because I only actually need it, believe it or not, for the drive car. So next month I'll order another one of these. He's got apparently okay. This one here, the 5-car set, is now going to be available in TransPennine colours. And also Hull Trains, I think, are going to be, is the other one. So I can't actually wait for that thing to come out. So I might actually be getting an, is it a Nova 2? And here, welcome to Salttown. Oh, that is a lovely place. I've been Carlisle myself. When I worked for DHL. Oh, the Nova 1. I knew it was one of the Nova sets. It was the Nova 3, I think, was the 68. I'd like to see a model of that. The 397. The other thing is, with the Nova 3 coaches, the Revolution Trains ones were a little bit draggy. Okay, for fuel. Oh, nice! Yeah, for me, Carlisle is about 3 hours away. Oh, brilliant. Happy break. Come on. And it's now daytime. So we've just had our break. So now we have to go. Well, that's 52. Believe it or not, that's our next break point there. Right. Why we swap over? Come on, that's 3 hours 40 minutes. Fucking hell, fine. I mean, the 68 is a beautiful logo, and DAP will do a good model of it. Oh, God. That's just revolting. You know, something like that. That train needs to be taken out of service and given a fucking good clean. Put it this way. I've not got ADHD or anything like that. I don't think I've certainly not diagnosed. And if I open that button and I open it like that, no. I wouldn't use it. And I've used some bloody shitty toilets in my time. It's possible, but at that point you need to, the staff need to inform somebody to get a replacement brought in so that train can be taken out of service and cleaned. Or you take the goes. I think there's only one toilet on the 156, isn't there, in one of the cars? I don't think there's a toilet in each coach. Yeah, lock it out of use. Which means there's at least, if it's a 4 car, you've got 2 toilets on that train, because you've got one in train 1, one in train 2. Which means if one set of toilets is out of use, you've got the other set that you can use in the second half of the train. I've also got my 156 model back as well from Batman's. Ooh. You've done something that I've not done. I've yet to travel first class in a train. I bet you did. I think I would as well. What tune is this? Ah, Sail on Stranger by Dan Leibowitz. Yeah, first class usually is. I mean, that's one thing you notice about travelling on DMUs is that wherever you are, you can't get away from this noise. But when you're in a loco with coaches, your train sounds like that. Yeah, Lockerbie, that's a what's in place thanks to, I think it was 1983 or 1982 when Pan Am Flight 103 came down. Ah, Motherwell. Yeah. I thought that's what you meant. I've been through Lockerbie. Because I've been to Edinburgh on the train. I went to the Truckfest a few years ago. Took the train. Hauled by a Virgin Class 47. Well, you know, I've got that Super Hakuto set from Kato. I've got an app downloaded on my phone for Google Translate. So I set the camera on and translate it to the camera. Turns out the Shikoku 2000 series formed the design basis for the Hot 7000. There's a cat on the line or something? Leaves on the line? The driver wanted a piss? You know what? What's the reason? Well, that's to be expected. Unfortunately, the network is so busy as that when you got something slow in front of it, you can't really overtake it. Which is why I think we need HS2. That's nice. Let's discover Hull, I think. I'm also getting one of my class 221 weathered as well at the moment. You'd think so. I mean, it's probably one of those long fucking Tesco container trains. Oh, you're riding a skateboard. They used to run skateboards. Used to come to our through where I live pretty much every day. Pretty much every fucking train was a skate, either a 156 or a skateboard. Dog box. Dog box? What the hell's a dog box? Yeah, I'll show you one in a second. That'll be webcam. Right. Whilst we start here, wait there for a second. Oh, 153. Okay. Probably because the back, well, the cab is so bloody small. It's like being in a dog box. Okay, I now have with me my 153. I'll just go to here for a moment. Whilst let's just make the thing bigger so you can see it. So you have naturally two ends to the train. You've got the at this end you have the end number 1, which is the original end that was fitted to the train, and end number 2. And as you can see, the number 2 cab is a lot smaller than the number 1 cab. So, as I've said, yeah, we can have the 153s, we don't mind them. However, they can never be driven from number 2 end. So sometimes you'll see them coupled up together. Or, like you say, with the 156. It's a nice little unit, actually. Although this one's a bit of a cop out. Because if I take the roof off, you can see inside it's got the standard interior. So you've got all the nicely picked out tables at this end. Where the bikes go at this end, it's still the standard interior. Now, which end is which? Yeah, that's it. I think they've routed the exhaust through there. I'm going to take this back into my bedroom now. It's a nice livery as well. There we are. Yeah. But they probably did that because it was cheaper to do it to the 153s than 156s. It's all a cost-cutting measure. Yep, indeed you do. Right, so now we've got to go down to, I reckon, really? 5 hours? That's pushing it, but we'll go with that. I'll have a look at something. It doesn't need it, it's just a pad. although all the doors on the 153 wider than the doors on the 156. Yeah, Scott have probably got the reasons as to why they did it. I've also got a model of a Class 121 as well now. Which is like the forerunner to the 153. I never knew that the 121, 122, the 108s had two engines. And if you've got a twin power set, you've got four engines. Never knew that. Another thing as well about the Shikoku 2000 series. Like the 7000, it tilts in and out of corners. Very clever device. So I've got another Shikoku 2000 series and also the N2000 as well, which I want to get hold of. Which is the red and blue version. The livery is more aligned to the Hot 7000. Which, the Hot 7000 comes about because of HOT are the first three letters of the prefectures it serves. Prefecture is like a Japanese county. But the 7000 comes to the fact that each engine, like it's got each unit has got 700 horsepower from two 350 horsepower diesel engines. Well, the coaches are actually shorter than a 158, or even for that matter, they're shorter than the Voyager. lengthwise, you're more like a, coach length. You're more like the 108s, and the early first generation diesel multiple units, which we need more of. Yeah. I wish manufacturers like Dapol and Farish and Kato and the likes, Hornby. Hi Guff! How you doing? We need to have more DMUs. I'm into Bavaria now. For you, Gurf, we have distance remaining on there is 13 hours, 952 kilometers. There we are. That's the what's it? We're going to TE Logistica in Florence. So we get all the way down through Germany, and we'll cross into Austria, through Austria, then into Italy. Yeah, the thing is though, Gurf, I mean, they are a big part of the UK railway scene, which I think why we need more of. I mean, it's nice to have a steam loco with yeah, I've just ordered another a 3-car Shikoku set. Which is like silver and blue. Because the one I've got at the moment, I managed to, in pulling the bogies off to clean them, I managed to damage them. So the bogies won't clip in now. Try to read that. Yeah, the 101s and 108s, they're lovely pieces of kit. I mean, for one, the seats in the older series DMUs have much thicker upholstery. So the ride was much more comfortable. I mean, nowadays you've gone for more sort of body conforming ergonomics with thinner bloody upholstery, which, yeah, they look great. They don't give good a ride though. Yeah, just at the end of the intercity era. or was it just the beginning of the old blue era? It's come the 2000s, that's when like the likes of Virgin started to come into play and what have you. Where the railway started to get all nice funky liveries, but much more boxes. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like all the modern liveries that we've got knocking around. It's as opposed to just blue and grey or grey and black with 2 stripes down the side. But I don't think the stuff is as built as well as it used to be. It's all built for lightness. Right, so we can stay over here. We go straight on down. We'll be stopping for a coffee as well in the next rest area that we come to. That's what I'm driving around in. With a twin-tone, dual-profile exhaust system. So if I go like this, back off the power, here's the difference. Oh, thanks. I also did the paint scheme myself as well. Not the container. The container's a separate mod, but the actual unit. Through the island here. Oh, you're playing World of Tanks or something. I've been down to Bovington. I got to see Tiger 131. It's fucking tiny. Right, okay, we are just in Nuremberg. We're just south of Nuremberg. We've got Right, 2 hours 47. Aye, aye. So we need now to get down to... That's 5 hours away. That's 4 hours away, so we can get to there. That's the next stop. Yeah, T-34 is tiny. But talking to one of the curators, they've got the Leopard there because the Leopard that they've got is a prototype. It's soft-skinned. Yeah, they like their low profile. The only thing is, a T-80, if they get hit, they tend to put the turrets in orbit, which is not good if you happen to be in the turret. Right. I think... It's time. Oop. Time for a coffee. And I was looking at this. Edwardian China. It's Stoke Pottery. Yeah, the Russian tanks in Ukraine don't seem to be doing very well at the moment. Right, let's open that. And I'm going to go downstairs. Now I'll make myself another cup of coffee. Yeah, if we can't out defeat them on that, we can outbuild them. And that's what they did. But the thing is, although the Tiger was better engineered than the T-34, the trouble with the Tiger is it changed so much, whereas the T-34 didn't. So what the turret of the first T-34 will fit the chassis of the last T-34. Same with the engines. You try to do that with a German Tiger. It'd change too much. And to a point, that's what kind of killed the German stuff. And it took so long to fucking build, but that's another matter. Right, coffee time! Yep. Whereas, if you look at a Russian Lada, those things are indestructible. I mean, I used to have an old Fiat 126, Polski Fiat. It wasn't that great. My dad's old air-cooled version was much better. But it was such a simple car. The water-cooled version was not as good as the air-cooled version. The water-cooled version, which is the one I had, the engines had a habit of boiling themselves. I mean, one of the best engines I've ever seen on a truck is a Magnus Deutz air-cooled engine. So no radiator, nothing like that. No emissions control pack or anything like that. It was just a particular one. It was 8 cylinders with fuel inside. No water jacket, nothing like that. Absolutely lovely. And it sounded lovely. Yeah, my 126 got through 2 head gaskets. First one at 16,000 miles, and the next one at 21,000 miles. So at that point I'm like, fuck it. I scrapped it. The old air-cooled version didn't have such problem. Because the engine was it was force-fed air over the top of it, so it was kept cool by the very fact it was running. And somewhere buried away in my channel, there was a video. Somebody actually took a Magnus Deutz truck fest and he fired it up. Oh, nice. Yeah, I can. I bet. Well, once this stream is done, because we've only got 600 kilometers to go now. I'll be going downstairs to cook myself something to eat. Felt like it was on 2 wheels then. And it started to rain. Yeah, we've got a toll road down here. I think I would be stopping at. I think just as we enter Austria. And there's the Austrian border. So, close the pipes, let's go to quiet mode. Keep the Austrians happy. The Austrians, they do not like the open pipes. They are too loud. To drive at night in Austria, you'll need to have specially certified low noise tires and a very quiet exhaust system. Otherwise, you cannot move at night. front of it. Okay, Gervie, have a good one. As we now have 530 kilometers to go, or 529 now. We have one more simulated driver swap, I think, then we can run to it for a break. And my cat has just gone into my bedroom. Hello, bird. What's she looking for? Actually works if I go over it. Let's find out. Okay, on the next one, break I think will probably be, no, won't be there, it'll probably be before the Italian border. So between now and the Italian border, there are no rest areas. So it looks like it's a straight run now down to the down to the Italian border. Then it'll be the end of the run. Whereby rights, the character I've got, the truck, will have to be pick up a new load to go all the way back to Iceland. Because Iceland is in the Commons Customs Zone, but it's not in the EU. So doing work around around Austria would actually, or even Italy, would be forbidden. The cabotage rules. However, we're approaching the tunnel. Okay, why is that not fired off? That should have fired there. Ah, I should go to the red. My cat has ways. Ah, she's a lovely little kitty. Right here. There you go. And looks like we're about now to cross into Italy. So we're taking the Donner Pass. Tunnel. So now it's a straight run down to Florence. Or I think it's Firenze, as the Italians say, or Firenze. I think that's Firenze, I think that's Florence. Either way. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. That's a good girl. I think I've got my cat's sweet spot. Just back of the base of the skull, behind her ears. She loves it. 242 kilometers to go. I'll be ending the stream, I'll go downstairs and I'll be making myself something to eat as well. Because it's been about 8 hours since I had something to eat. And that was only breakfast. Less than 200 now, so we are rocking on. The sun's starting to come up over the eastern horizon. Welcome to Lombardy. So now everybody's start keeping their eyes out towards for signs for Firenze, which we'll be picking up shortly. Because to give you an idea where we are just by Suzzara, and we got Bologna and Florence down here. Got Livorno, Parma. That is a beautiful road. And we have now, time-wise, 45 hours remaining on the job before the window closes. Whoop. So we'll be getting fuel at the next service point, which is about to come on the radar. So. Here we are. Here's fuel. Yay! It's fueling time! It's fueling time! Whilst I'm here, trailer manager, have I got? I've only got one container carrier. Right, okay, trailer purchase. Oh dear, game crashed. Whoops, a daisy. It didn't like that. It definitely did not like that, so whoops, a daisy. So I'll log back in. Game crash. Whoops. I think I need to not use that trailer. Didn't like it. So we've now just got to, it's a short run now down to Florence from where we are, just outside Bologna. I think that's where we were. We're just about to fuel up. I was just about to buy myself another reefer trailer. And all of them. No, you're not doing it. Bye. Clunk. There's a couple of those trailers which are not meant to be modified, so we'll see what happens. So we'll wait for the game to load up again. And I'm going to, whilst I'm thinking about it, whilst it's loading up, I'm going to go back downstairs and it's going to be 3 hours. Okay. I'll finish this run first. I think I'll go for something to eat. Ooh, CD. Klaus Goldinger. What is this? Das ist Das Boot. Klaus Goldinger. The original film music. German CD. Oh, we have movement. The line has moved. Yay. So, right, where's it done me? Have I actually made it to the fuel station, or have I got to drive back a bit? Oh, it's just stopped. Right, let's see what we have got remaining on the journey. Wow, by the looks of it, less than 60 kilometres. 1 hour. Oh, I love that, the reverb through the tunnels. And here we are. The last 14 kilometres. Just got to go through a toll booth and I think that's it. Well, there we are, Florence discovered. took me to the back end of fucking nowhere. Right, and it wants us there, round the back. Oh. And that is that. 1,970 kilometers driven. And now I am still not in ahead of Rib. Ribpack is ahead of me in the current standings. And not exactly... what's it? No, that's 3 miles. There we are. And Ribpack companies followed. Because Rib Sose has woken up. Yeah, he's 20,000 ahead of me. But Fox, nowhere in sight. So I'm not particularly worried about overtaken by Ribpack. I kind of expect them to overtake me because they've got 169 drivers. It's about time they overtook me. It's about time they did something, and it looks like they have. So that's it. Time now to end this stream for the night. It's been a nice 3 hours for you to follow along with me, along with the discussion of what's gone on during the week at the start of the week. So for now, take care and have a wonderful week. And all being well, I'll see you all next week.